weigh in on like hate speak? Because I'm listening to you and I'm sort of like, wow, he must be an advocate of hate speak policy, and where does that fall in all of this discussion? And I will just say, listening to all this, I do public relations. I think the whole thing of anger for public relations and fundraising is huge, and I think it's all a game, and it's all about money, and the whole Bork thing, you know, it's all become a game of what judges are appointed, and it becomes a fundraising effort. But I'm interested in the hate speak matter, if you don't mind clarifying that.
I oppose laws that attempt to criminalize any kind of speech. I'm pretty much a John Stuart Mill fan on these matters, which is the right response to provocative speech is to respond appropriately to that speech, not try to prevent people from speaking. Now, that doesn't mean I like hate speech or things that get called that. I'm of the view that we would as a society be a whole lot better off if we persuaded ourselves to cease and desist this sort of vitriolic attempt to demean other people, but doing it by legal means, using the courts and the police to do it, I doubt would achieve or will achieve what it's intended to. It's going to make people find other avenues of self-expression.
I noticed a few years ago that when politicians, I'm sorry to keep focusing so much on politics, but I know that in your book you say that you spend many chapters on different sectors of life, but on politics, I noticed a few years ago that candidates they would always say that what they were doing was fighting. Fighting was the verb of choice. They were fighting for you, they were fighting for the average family, they were fighting for America. And then the whole concept of culture war. So we're in a war and we're fighting, and that's good. And people seem to, that all gets focus grouped. And so they are saying what people want them to say. And my other example is I know this guy. He's the mild-mannered guy. He's a sweetheart. And they gave him a show on one of the cable stations. And he was just this kind of sweet guy. And I tuned on a couple of weeks ago, and I just was clicking around, and I saw him, and he was wearing a clown suit, screaming and yelling at the top of his lungs. He was just shouting at somebody, "You moron, you idiot!" And I thought, like, but he's still on the air, so he's getting the ratings. So I really, the lady said I know this guy does not feel, it's just a shtick with him to stay on the air. Anyway.